busy man.
Well, I'm okay. I've been hacked this morning. I don't normally get hacked. It's for other lesser mortals. But someone sent an email out from me saying, can I ask you a question, please? And I thought, why have I sent an email to myself? But there you go. So hacked.
Well, at least you're not hacked off. That's a lot better, isn't it? Well, I'm just chilling. As you know, I keep an eye though on you. I was going to ask you about your Ustream because I tried to join it in the past and I fucked it up, if I'm honest. But I need to speak to you about that. I'll probably chat to you offline about that. But your Ustream's going really, really well, mate. I mean, it must be great, eh?
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult to run, and there's so many intricate little things that you have to do. And we started off as just a program like you're doing here online, and now we're on people's televisions and we're worldwide, and we have an American company looking after designing our apps, and we've got to make tons and tons of product. That's the thing. So, you know, streaming channels swallow up stuff. So we have to keep making things and buying in other bits and pieces. But people can get on it by going to ustream.com, and that's spelled USTREME. So, you know, it's a bit of a naff spelling, but it's the only domain we could get.
I mean, it's great. Well, you've got on, let's be honest, Jim, you are probably the only unwoke station out there, and it's got all the funnies. I mean, Jesus, I enjoy your content, and I actually am really pleased that you're getting some slots on GB News, and it's great to hear your opinion because I fucking think the same as you, actually.
Well, you know, there's a lot of people frightened to speak their minds, and you've got to remember, although I speak my mind, it's not particularly my own mind. It's the comedy sort of bit of my mind. I tend not to make comments about serious things, like, you know, the stuff that's going on in the Middle East. If I'm going to make a comment, I'm making it as a comedian and not someone that's informed. You know, so I just talk about how confusing it all is, and, you know, what did Hamas expect? You know, if you're going to go and hit a wasp's nest with a stick, the wasps are going to come at you, and you've had it. You better have a lot of sticks. That's the type of thing I'm saying. And, you know, and I make comment of the fact that all these protests going on in our country need to be looked at very carefully. But there again, I made the comment of the bloke that put all those mice in McDonald's. They were all dressed up as in Palestinian flags. I thought it was hysterical. And they've nicked him today. They should have given him a medal for outstanding thinking outside the box. Apparently, three of the mice died.
Did they?
They ate a bit of quarter pounder that someone had dropped on the floor and were poisoned.
That's cannibalism.
It is. Yeah, it is.
Mate, I'll be honest with you, right? And I'm going to let people know this. It's coming up their Remembrance Day, as we all know. I'm not going to hem and ha about it, but I think you know as well that I'm not a big supporter of certain charities, but I'd like to see your charity get more support. The one that you set up, Care After Combat, because they do
this
great
one
work.
here,
Yeah, I see that. Care After Combat you got on there, yeah. Well, my brooch was given to me a couple of years ago by a woman that made all these, so I wear these ones that she gave me. I used to have all those Veterans in Action and PTSD res. There's too many, and I just sort of thought I'll go basic.
There is too many, and you know the association. When I formed a charity that entertained the troops, and that's still going now, the British Forces Foundation. Yeah. And then I formed one that was a veterans charity, particularly Care After Combat was for veterans in the criminal justice system or in danger of getting themselves nicked. And do you think we could get any money? No, we couldn't get any money from anywhere until the Conservatives actually, Osborne, gave us £1 million, which came in bloody handy, I could tell you, at the start of this charity. But if you think that there are certain charities that seem to hog the 11th of the 11th, you buy a poppy and that's it. And it goes to the Royal British Legion and all the other charities suffer because people think that buying a poppy, it does everything. It doesn't. It goes to the Royal British Legion and then they choose to know what to do with it. They very rarely give it to the smaller charities that do all the work.
Yeah, and Jim, I noticed this, and it's going to happen. I tell you what, you can mark these words within the next 2 or 3 days. This is going to happen. The RBL are going to offer grants out to other charities. They do it every year. Now, I remember a few years ago, Jim, and you're about to laugh. I can see this. I remember a few years ago, the RBL said that charities can now apply for grants. And I can remember, and I will mention this, I can remember Billy McLeod, the CEO of a charity, putting in for a grant for the RBL. I remember Danny Greeno that runs a veterans charity. I remember 7 or 8 different charities that all put in a grant for the RBL, and not one of them were able to meet the RBL's criteria for that grant. That says a lot.
Probably not diverse enough.
Yes. Anyway, listen, it's coming up to Christmas.
Hang on, before we move on, I've got a worse story than that. I had a certain high-ranking Royal Marine, a very high-ranking Royal Marine, who was suffering dreadfully from PTSD, which led to alcoholism. And I spoke to Combat Stress, and I said, why won't you see this guy? Well, we think he's got the wrong type of PTSD. I said, look, you're his only hope. And so we ended up with donations from pals and a big chunk from me of putting this guy in the Priory, and it cost us £28,000 to do. And I thought, well, why am I doing this? Why isn't the charity that it says on their tin, we look after people with mental health problems? And they didn't. And sadly, he died. But it was an attempt to try and get him back on the straight and narrow. And you don't expect that from such high-ranking officers, but everybody suffers. Trev, you know that more than anybody.
Jim, 2017, I was suffering PTSD. My wife then was trying to find a way for me to get better. And we had a representative from Combat Stress arrive at our house. And she went through all these questions. We went through them all. And she went away. And we phoned a couple of times, and it turns out that my PTSD didn't meet their criteria. Apparently, it was too complex for them to deal with. So I never got help. But listen, I know that you work extremely hard. You're probably filming now, actually. You've just had a break. But, mate, it's great to see you looking chirpier. I know that we all have our demons. We all go up and down. But it's coming to Christmas. When are we going to see Jim back on doing a pantomime? I know you do your shows, but I'm talking about a pantomime.
No, I don't think I'll do that now. It's hard work, and I'd have to play Baron Hardup or someone like that, and or the baddie. No, I don't think I want to do panto again. I wouldn't mind doing another one of those mucky ones just to finish off. But I've got a lazy Christmas, and I'm doing okay now. That this has been a rotten year. It started off, I nearly died of sepsis in 2023 in January. And then loads of other things happened. I separated from the wife. We're now getting divorced. And but in the last couple of months, I found a new girlfriend, and it's given me a little light at the end of the tunnel. So I just hope that frigging light don't go out before I get to the end of the tunnel.
Don't, mate. I remember you joking and going that you've bought so many houses and you don't own any.
No, I don't. This one's just being sold now. And yeah, well,
it is what it is. But listen, mate, I know you're a busy man. I'm not going to take up too much more of your time. Honestly, it's always great to chat to you. You've always been in my corner, and I do appreciate you, Jim, 100%. You're a great guy, and I wish you all the best, and I hope things work out. And we'll chat offline as we normally do. And thank you, mate. Have a great day, though. Okay, buddy?
Yeah, you have a good day and a happy Christmas. And Trev, you keep doing what you're doing, mate. You've never been the one to give up on anything. Take care of yourself. Know how much we all admire you. And I'll speak to you soon, pal.
Thanks, mate. Take care, and thank you for this. Bye,
Cheers,
mate. Bye.
Bye-bye.